It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome, everybody. If this mic is working, give me some feedback. There's a bunch of stuff happening in Colorado right now that is or isn't inevitable. And there's a bunch of people gathering as we speak at the state capitol there in Colorado. So I figured I would go live here, offer an opportunity for anybody there who wants to join in and let us know what's happening. And if that doesn't happen, I've got an alternative option. I'm going to update the calendars we've got with this rally, the thing that's happening in Connecticut today, as well as the Missouri rally that's coming up soon. So give me some feedback. Is this thing working? Let me get something from my own feedback. Missouri rally that's coming up. All right, so the audio is working. This is a non-scheduled show. I don't know if I'll make it a podcast or not. Probably will at some point, but feel free to participate or not. It's not required. I'm going to be doing some work over here. It'll be less boring, but I guess we'll listen to Brooke finish her chat from last night talking about the Connecticut event, but ideally we'll get some people in from Colorado. I'm looking around on the internet as well. I guess we could do this live. Put this up here. Seems like the co-host could care less about this. So over here, I typed in Colorado 2A rally, and then I put the filter to today. So we've got our show. Oh, here we go. Finally got something. Oh, that says 11 years ago. 5 years ago. Okay, let me put the filter back on. Today. So we got our show. We got something from ABC News 11 hours ago, which is talking about something in Florida. Don't know what's happening there. I think it's just showing me videos from today, since there's nothing out there that it can find about 2A or a 2A rally. So I'll change that to gun rally and see what happens. I haven't seen anything on Facebook or on Instagram either. However, Instagram essentially throttles us to see the people we're subscribed to. So it's really difficult to discover new info on Instagram. 11 months ago, so I got to filter this again to today. Right. It doesn't look like much. So we have this special edition of Rapid Fire, which is one of my alternative plans to listen to that while I work on the calendar over here. I don't see anything else that is focused on the rally. So let me just, I think what I can do is send another link over to somebody. Let's see, how do I do this? Like this. Into Instagram, I guess. I'm assuming nobody's watching this since nobody's commenting, so I'll just quit narrating and you'll just watch the dead screen, I guess. I'll let you watch the puppy again. Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll do this. I'll just watch Toby's show from the other day.
All right, welcome back to Rapid Fire, your weekly show, all things guns, freedom, Second Amendment, and self-defense. The show is sponsored by the USCCA and Vortex Optics, so please check out all their great stuff. If you have any interest in the USCCA, go to uscca.co/rapid fire for a very special deal there as well. And they have not only great legal and financial protection, but awesome membership to be a part of. And you can get tons of training materials, you get their concealed carry map and everything else that they have. So yeah, you want to check all that out. We have right now joining us from Colorado Springs, Colorado, Petty Collins from Spartan Defense, Colorado Springs.
Howdy.
Petty, thanks so much for joining the show today. How are you?
Doing decent. All that's going on, of course. You know, it's definitely a crazy time here in Colorado. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. We're going to jump right into that. But why don't listeners, what it is you do, and what got you into the Second Amendment? Give us a little elevator pitch about what it is that you do on a day-to-day.
Sure. So I'm the owner and operator of Spartan Defense Armory and Training in Colorado Springs. We're definitely one of the larger mom and pops retailers in the state. We started this business actually back in 2010 as an instruction company out of Corpus Christi, Texas, training individuals in concealed carry, self-defense, and firearms instruction. So that's essentially what we do out here as well, on top of the retail side of things.
So how long have you been kind of in the industry from training or?
I got in this industry in college when I was at Texas A&M, and after a friend of mine was attacked, and honestly, I wasn't really into firearms that much before that, but this kind of opened my eyes to the realization that, firearms are the great equalizer. They'll make a female equal to a male. They'll make, no matter what your size are, they will equal out the odds of your life or of your chance of survival. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not something you think you're ever going to need, but if you do need it, you're going to really wish you had it, right?
Right.
And know how to use it too. So,
100%.
So just looking in the background there, you got some AR uppers on the wall and whatnot. So you got a brick and mortar store in Colorado Springs.
Yes, sir.
And I'm down to Colorado Springs a lot, actually. So one of these days I'll have to stop in and say hello. Possibly even this week, if maybe even by the time this show airs, I'll have already met you in person. I'm trying to pull off a miracle and try to get a flight and everything and coordinate and try to get down to out to Colorado for everything that's going on out there.
As long as this stuff doesn't pass, we'll be here, man.
Yeah. You've been getting a lot of snow lately, huh?
Yeah, the last 2 days we did. Today's a nice day. It's nice and sunny outside. We're in that bipolar time of year here in Colorado where it changes between hot and cold. So,
Yeah, Colorado's an unbelievable state, in my opinion, but the weather is something else. I think it might be the only state where you could, and I've done this, skied in the morning and golfed in the afternoon. So
it's very possible, especially in the springs. We get 300 days of sunshine out here. So we're at the base of the mountains, not up in them, but it is definitely an interesting change in weather out here for sure.
Yeah. This funny story about Colorado Springs last year, the weekend before SHOT Show, I was out in Colorado Springs and decided to do like a 3-hour hike at Cheyenne Mountain, the state park there. And
I know that trail very well. You probably hiked Captain Jackson's chutes out there, which is awesome.
Yeah. In the United States. It was amazing. It really was. It was just epic. And I thought I was going to be fine because I had some fairly new Danner boots that, but I've been wearing them for a month. So I'm like, I'm good. These are broken in.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Absolutely.
So coming down the trail, well, actually I'm about 45 minutes from the truck. I've already been hiking for an hour and a half, and I realized I think I'm getting blisters. And I'm like, no, this is the week before SHOT Show. So I immediately like made the quickest route back to the truck. And of course, you're going downhill on slippery ice and everything. So I'm running half the time so I don't fall on my butt. And I get to the car, pull off the socks and shoes, and both pinky toes have like, they're gone. The skin is gone.
And before SHOT Show, that's no fun because we ride miles at SHOT Show. I've gone, you've gone. It's a lot of walking on concrete.
It was pain and suffering. The entire week I died. I just died. And then finally by like Friday, one of them got infected. So I was, had to go home, go see a doctor, get on antibiotics. Because it was like a, MRSA or fast staph infection or whatever the heck it is.
Sure.
So anyway, no one wants to hear about that. But that's my connection with Colorado Springs and Colorado in general. I was born in Denver. I have family in Glenwood and Colorado Springs, and my biological father lives in Aurora. So I make it out there several times a year, and I've always loved Colorado and, had a kinship to it for that reason. And it saddens me to see that it has really, I would say, deteriorated into what I live in now on the East Coast in Massachusetts, where the Second Amendment is under constant assault. And we saw an assault weapon ban challenge, proposed last fall that got defeated, fortunately. But now here it is again in all its glory. There's a big rally on Tuesday the 19th at the State House. I'll try to be there for that. But if I don't make it,
Jesus is going to be there. I understand. Brandon Herrera is showing up. So.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. The Let's Go Brandon.
Yeah.
I love that. That's his campaign slogan. That is the best.
He's running for Congress in Texas, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yeah. That'll be amazing. So you're going to be there, I assume.
Yeah, we're organizing a convoy. I mean, this will probably air after that. But Tuesday, we're going to be leaving at 6 a.m. From our parking lot sharp at the convoy to the Capitol. As well as, I'm going to be testifying in front of the legislator against the assault weapons ban, as are several members of my team here this week.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. I did the same here in the Massachusetts State House last fall. I did it once via Zoom and once in person.
It's important. We got to have our voices heard. The more people that testify, the better.
Yeah. The red coats will be there. I mean, red shirts.
Yes.
The Moms Demand Action crowd will be in full force.
Yeah, this is third-hand information, but from what I'm hearing from Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, Mom Demands Actions has an active sign-up page on their social media and their website, and they've signed up 4,000 people to come in and protest in favor of the assault weapons ban. And just to be clear, it's a very deceiving title for this bill. I actually have the text of the bill here with me. It's 16 or 17 pages, half of which bans specific items and any item that are even close to that. We're talking even semi-automatic magazine pistols if they have certain features on them, which is crazy. So this is basically going to put us back to the old days with rubber guns and revolvers in this passes.
Unbelievable. Very similar. It's actually made me think that gun control groups have taken a much different approach here in a post-Bruin world where they know what they're doing is unconstitutional. They know their days are numbered, but they're just throwing it against the wall, hoping it sticks for a little while. Delay.
It's a lot of that. The more they can delay in the courts, it's a lot of this has to do with the courts because the Supreme Court, cannot take up all these cases and cannot deal with all this. And if they do, we're talking meticulously slow here. We're talking years before something's heard. I don't know if you watched what happened in Illinois last few years, or we'll see what's happening in Washington. But these are things that can easily be challenged with the Bruin decision and have not made it to the Supreme Court or to federal judges that will, strike it down.
Yeah, I think you and I are both looking at something that's probably going to pass in the case of our state. You have some optimism in the Senate, right? The state Senate.
There's definitely some optimism in the Senate. This bill does have a better chance of passing this year than it did last year. Last year we had two holdouts on. It didn't even make it out of committee. We had two holdouts, two Democrats that voted against the assault weapons ban. And just to be clear, this year the ban is even stricter than last year. There's also about 13 other bills that they're trying to put into effect. Things, everything from a FOID card requirement in order to purchase a firearm to a 30-day wait in between purchases and a 10-day background check period. So we're talking some of the strictest gun control in the entire United States, putting us on par with Hawaii, if not worse.
Yeah, that's unbelievable to me when you think about already courts have struck down the very language that Colorado's putting into this bill. Similar thing has happened here in Massachusetts. Courts have struck down the very language that they're putting into this bill and in our bill, and yet they proceed anyway. It's, you know, the most insulting part of this is I was on a call with a state senator who said, look, we don't know if what we're doing right now is going to be struck down by the courts. And it's like, well,
you're going to try anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the whole time, like, well, you can look at other courts and see that courts have struck it down elsewhere. You mentioned Illinois, and then there's one in Maryland that have upheld them, which are, you know, seeking certiorari before the Supreme Court. So now we get to have our rights hang in the balance to see if the Supreme Court will take up the case or not.
And we're talking about an unelected judge, a federal judge potentially, that's been appointed by a political party or a political person, so to speak, that's making these decisions.
Howdy, do you got anything happening in California that I should add to the calendar here?
Between the letters between our founding fathers on what the intent of the Second Amendment is. This is a game of let's see if it sticks, and it's frustrating because at the end of the day, it's part of the initial 10 amendments. It's part of the Bill of Rights. It's a civil rights issue and not a political issue.
Yeah, it was settled law. It wasn't even a question for 200 years, right? Other than the one anomaly of the NFA Act in 1934, but you know, and there was some really racist gun control in our history of the 19th century.
Gun control in general has always been racial.
I'll put you on screen. Flip it around. Hold it horizontal.
Just go see if you can get a little video.
Hold it horizontal.
Who is the farthest traveled today? I know we've got a flight up. Who else? Where's far?
Massachusetts.
Thank you for fighting with us today.
My pleasure.
Pueblo, where else we got?
Hold it horizontal.
Yeah, Leadville, where else? Where? Fair play, there you go.
There it is. Brother. My pleasure. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we'll do it again sometime in my neck of the woods.
Oh, we've got one from the People's Republic.
Hold it horizontal.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, when we get into the Capitol building, I just want to reiterate this over and over and over again. When we get into the Capitol building, if you have a
Hold it horizontal.
All right. Edgar, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. How you doing? Nice to finally meet you in person.
What the fuck? You hit the wrong button. Hopefully he'll start holding it horizontal, not hold it like a kid. But I'll send one to Edgar if he's there. So we saw a little bit of the rally. This is a video on Forge for Freedom talking about Hackathorn the other day. Let's see, how do I get to, it's probably just easier to search for them. Guns for Everyone. There we go. hopefully Toby will jump back in. We sort of had a bit of the rally there. All right, I'm gonna go back to watching their video from the other day.
Based,
Yeah.
I mean, the freed slaves, for example, one of the first acts of gun controls in U.S. history on a federal level or on a state level was the prohibition against freed slaves carrying firearms or possessing firearms. So it's definitely, there's definitely racial bias. And if gun control affects anybody, it affects minorities the most, because we're talking people who live in the inner cities generally. We're talking people that do not have quick police response times. And we're talking about people that are the most vulnerable economically and physically. So
Yeah, and that's what most licensing schemes do is restrict those that need it the most. The ones,
barrier to entry.
It's a high barrier to entry. It costs money. It takes time.
Basically, it's the equivalent of a poll tax. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I've spoke about that many times on this show. And because the Supreme Court found the poll tax to be unconstitutional, and then there was a case in 1943 called Murdoch v. Pennsylvania, which said that you cannot license, sell a permit, or charge a fee for the free exercise of an enumerated constitutional right.
That's right.
And yes, that was a First Amendment case, but it was, it spoke very general in the majority opinion that, yeah, you can't charge a fee for the enjoyment of a constitutionally protected right.
Exactly.
And yet here we are. It takes 3 months minimum, I would say, well, maybe average here in Massachusetts for somebody who decides they want to exercise their right to keep and bear arms. From the time they decide they want to do that till the day that they're able to buy a gun.
I can't imagine.
Probably 3 months.
I know we ship a lot of things out to Massachusetts, to FFLs out there, and there's a bunch of hoops to jump through, and I know there's all kinds of restrictions. It's crazy. I'm with you guys. I feel for you guys too. That's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I just kind of want to read something in this bill too that really just kind of drove me up a wall a little bit. They mentioned in the bill the 1994 assault weapons ban under Bill Clinton, saying that it was a great success. And I'm just going to read. Is it okay if I read the text?
Yeah, please do.
Banning assault weapons bans leads to a drop in mass shootings and gun massacres. In the 10 years that the assault weapons were limited by federal ban, gun massacres dropped drastically by at least 37%. Not citing any sources here, but I want to point out in those 10 years, we had the first, one of the biggest and the most publicized mass shootings in U.S. history at school. One of the first ones that I can think of, that's Columbine.
Right.
It happened in 1999, if I remember correct. And we had Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. So I don't know where they're getting their statistics from. They're not cited here, but it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah. Well, something else to interject along those lines was before the ban was put in place, the trend of gun, quote, violence, I hate that propaganda term, but violence with a firearm, with negative outcomes with a firearm, however you want to spin it. But
sure.
The trend was down nationally. Before, during, and after the sunset of the assault weapons ban in 94. Massachusetts made it permanent in 1998. So we never got the sunset provision to take root. We've been living under the 94 assault weapons ban since 94. And in 98, when they made it permanent, they signed huge gun control bill in Massachusetts, the very first omnibus gun control bill, which had sweeping changes to gun ownership in Massachusetts. And we did see a mass exodus of people leaving our state. At the time in 1998, we had 1.2 million gun owners. Now we have 600,000 gun owners in the state of Massachusetts.
They cut it in half.
Cut it in half. But here's the crazy point.
It's a beautiful state, man. I love this state. In there, it's gorgeous, but it's crazy what you guys have lived through right now.
And there's 2 points I want to make about that. One is, since 98, violence with a gun, or gun violence, if you want to use the propaganda term, is up 120%. So you put in this gun control,
and things spike.
Half the gun owners are present now, and yet violence with guns is up 120%.
In
Since
most
then.
cases, the stat they don't like to say is that the majority of the items that are being used in these crimes and that are being used in these incidents are illegally acquired in the first place or acquired over the state's lines. For example, like the crazy thing about this law that they're trying to pass is it essentially affects the sale and the transfer. It doesn't affect the ownership for those that are going to register or those that are going to be in possession of before the bill passes. It was to stop some crazy SOB out there, so to speak. I hope that.
Can you hear me? Is my mic working?
Back up to Taylor. But just what?
I don't know if it's a cell signal. Here we go. Hey
everybody. Really glad to be here, standing in solidarity with the good people of Colorado. The rally is happening right here behind me at the west steps of the state capitol, and they got a pretty good group of people, so that's exciting. And they're fired up, which is also exciting. This is a really bad bill, very similar to the bill in Massachusetts. So we are here to stand in solidarity with them. Hopefully they have a better chance of defeating it than we do, but you never know. So anyway, I'm gonna be in and out a little bit, so it's hard to hear. It's hard to hear the speakers too. Brandon Herrera is due to come any minute, and he's gonna speak, which is good. It's good to see some people that I've collaborated with over the past few years, but unfortunately we're doing it for all the wrong reasons. This is to, they're threatened with and facing a really bad assault weapons bill. So anyway, I'll try to get some more video and audio. So here we go.
Right on. Can you hear me? I guess not. He's here. He's just not connected. So we'll get him back here in a moment. I sent a link out to a couple of other folks.
What other country?
All right, so let's go back to over here and we'll keep listening to that video. So this is a video with Toby and Spartan Defense shop in Colorado Springs. And they did this chat yesterday, I think. I missed it yesterday, so I was listening to it and updating the calendar over here. If you know of any events that are happening that are worth posting, let me know. So let's go in and grab some stuff off of this. So this is the show we're in right now, but instead of being live, so let's go in and we're going to go backwards to whenever Toby was in here. And look at that. We can see what the rally's all about. So we only got a couple of moments of it there, but let's see what we can see. Pretty good turnout. I heard some people moaning and groaning the other day on the internet, like yesterday on the internet, and I wonder if they're here or if they're looks like a pretty normal group of people. Looks cold. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's a pretty good shot right there. So we'll grab that shot, just do a print screen, and then I got to pull it out of full screen mode so I can grab my toolbar and get the simple Microsoft Paint, do a paste, gets me my print screen back on the software here. Move the resolution down a little bit so I can see the whole thing. We'll just grab that and save as. Put it somewhere and then give it a name. So luckily I got a name right here that I should be able to grab. And I can just name the picture that. And I'll put a 001 at the end since there's going to be more than one. And now when I go back to this, I don't have to open Paint. So I can just move around a little bit on the timeline. That's another shot. That's a pretty good shot, actually. So can I improve the quality of this? 360. Let's get it up to 720. Oh, look at that. See one flag. Otherwise, I just see a bunch of regular people standing there. How is this going to be perceived? Is it going to be perceived like the AI images that I asked the computer for? So let's start counting. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. So if that's 30 people, that's probably another 60. You know, what are we talking? 200 people here? Could probably zoom in and count heads, but let's grab a quick print screen of this. Paste it. Grab it. Save as. Give it a different title or a different name, I guess. And zip around a little bit more. Oh, there we go. More of the crowd. Nice. So, not sure why everybody was looking over here. Is that as far as we get over there? That's as far as we get. I'm watching that tree. Okay, that's about as far as we get. Let's find out. Did everybody turn over here or do they turn away?
Hold it so that Horde holds. Hold it, Horde.
Oh, look at that. Now you can see a lot more people.
Just see if we can get a little video.
Hold it horizontal.
Well, maybe it's because I'm yelling, hold it horizontal up there. Oh, it's probably when he yells Connecticut or when he yells Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
There we go. Look how far that one is. So now we can see a lot more people. So let's grab that screenshot. There's Gizzard out there. Welcome. How far is Colorado from Gizzard? Or I should say Denver from Gizzard. Probably about 6 hours, I'm guessing. And I'm just saving these over here. All right, so that's about as much of the crowd as we got. Pretty cool, though. And now we could potentially piece these together. You can do that in a bunch of different programs, but I don't know if I'll do that live here. But now I'm going to say 300 to 400 people there. I'm going to guess, which is pretty good size for a rally, considering they didn't have a lot of time. Let's go take a look at what the AI, when I typed in the AI Colorado Rally 2024, let's take a look at what it gave us. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I got to start back here. I typed in Colorado 2A rally, and this is what it gave me. 1, 2, 3. Wow, these are big or something. How long does that take? And then 4. Oh, I see. There's 2 in a row. That's what happened. And then asked it for the same thing, and it gave me all this. So then I said, how about Pro 2A? And it gave me stuff like this. Bunch of flags. So then I said, with a diverse group of people, and then it went to a normal group of people out there, like just a crowd of people. They just happen to have a lot of flags. But did you notice how it went from regular people standing there with a couple of flags and some banners to whatever the hell this is, a bunch of people with masks and sunglasses? When have you ever been to a rally like this? Those fake Fed rallies look like this, but nothing like, I've never seen a real actual I've been to quite a few 2A rallies. I've never seen one look like this. Like, say, some kind of staged photo op Fed bullshit, or the Antifa airsoft stuff looks like this. But there's never been to a 2A rally like that. So that's the perception, and now we can see the reality. All right, let's get a head count here. All right, we're going to do the head count this way. We'll open this. Hold on. And please hold the camera horizontal so we see more of the event. Hopefully he saw that one. All right, so now I've got it open in Paint, right? So now I can go up to Paint here and get myself this paintbrush. I think Toby's going to jump back in now. I might as well plug my phone in too, since I'm sitting here next to 700 plugs. Is this one full? Yeah. All right, so now I'm in Paint, and I went ahead and grabbed we're still live. I'll grab I'm going to grab a brush of like that thickness, let's say, and we'll make it yellow. Oops. And then we'll zoom in here, and we'll start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe. Make that a thing. How many over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say these are heads. 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll say there's another one. We'll be generous because those could be bushes or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's got to be 10 back there, because we're looking across a bunch of heads, right? There's got to be a ton of people over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably another 10 over there. So if that's roughly half the crowd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking at 160 people still. What do you think? Is that a good crowd for a 2A rally, or is that a bad crowd? It looks like it fills this area. I'm going to go ahead and save this as, and then we'll have a head count. An official head count. Just like AI, except the old-fashioned way with paint. All right, well, so we also have the BS rule over here. While we're waiting for Toby to jump back in. The HB 24-1292 prohibits certain weapons used in mass killings. Concerning prohibitions on certain firearms used in public mass killings. Bill's summary. The bill defines the term assault weapon and prohibits a person from manufacturing, importing, purchasing, selling, offering to sell, or transferring ownership of an assault weapon. The bill further prohibits a person from possessing a rapid fire.
Involved with your local politics. I know my county is the Douglas County. I need to meet you. I need your help. Someone that's on a rhino. Thanks for that. We'll stand for a second at that. As always, support the right. So much. We got a crazy about something. So fun. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you. Can't hear you. What he says, Democrats are outspending Republicans 3-1 and a lot of money. What? Folks like you, freedom-loving individuals who have the Constitution on your side, who have history on your side. Fighters like we got your side. Thank you so much for coming out today. God bless you.
We appreciate what you're doing there. All right, yeah. That's right. Okay. I'm right up here. Vice President of the National Association of Countries. As I said, I've been involved in a lot of fights, constitutional carry fights across the country. Brandon Herrera is on his way. He's almost here. We're going to see AK Jesus momentarily. These are down close to my mouth. Oh, better, much better, much better. Someone said earlier that Republicans just didn't turn out last year. 25% didn't turn out. Well, I just want to let you know. We have over 200,000 petitions of your petition signed that we're going to be delivering. By the way, go to our website, sign this petition. I wanted 500,000.
That's right.
That is not enough petition. No, Republicans got more votes in office of state representatives cycles in a row in the last decade. It is only because the Congress is very bad in the district out here that they have diluted our influence. They are trying to run us out of the state. By the way, here's the boards too. I'm working very closely with the National Foundation for Gun Rights in Hannah Hill and Taylor Rose. Somebody said there's from Massachusetts out here. Guess what? See how the lawsuit filed right there. Both through a lawsuit to overturn Mitt Romney's assault weapons ban.
Yeah. Do it.
Hannah Hill. I don't know what's almost ready. All right, Hannah Hill is going to come up with all these lawsuits down. Guess what? They're doing what? Inconsistent with the text, history, so this is the violation of that, and we are going to stop it. Thank you. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Who wants to sue the gun grabber?
Yeah.
Sign the petition. That will let Taylor get in touch over some of these laws that they're passing. So if they pass the assault weapons ban, our lawyer is sitting by with his finger on the button ready to get filed. We are so going to take you to court the day that thing gets signed by the governor. But it's a long process. Filling a gun bill in the court is about like trying to kill a mosquito with an AR-15. Sometimes they're that big, and sometimes you get lucky. But usually it takes you a few tries. It takes some time. So that's why we are here today. The way the counter-defendants work is when our lawmakers start doing bad things, for all of us to show up and to mobilize against them and stop them from passing these in the first place. That's why I'm so thrilled to see all of y'all here. Because when you work in the court system, you see that it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money to overturn one bad gun bill. So it's easier to stop them from passing it in the first place. And while I'm on that, how many of you know who your county councilman is or your city councilman is? Can I see your hand? That's awesome. If you didn't raise your hand, you need to find out. Because gun control starts at the local level. Here in Colorado, they've repealed the preemption law. That means your local government can do just about anything they want to. They can ban assault weapons. They can do whatever they want to do, and they have begun doing it. That is actually where our lawsuit program against assault weapons ban began in Superior. After that, local government passed assault weapons ban. So find out, mobilize, and don't let them do it. But for those who do, we are here to sue. We're suing over the assault weapons ban in nearly half of the federal circuit, Massachusetts, Connecticut, vaccine ban here in Colorado, Hawaii, Illinois. We have one case at the Supreme Court, we have cases at the appellate courts, we have cases at all levels of the federal court. And we're going to be here for a long time. Supreme Court's on our side. Ellen has said that you cannot ban weapons that are in common use for self-defense. It doesn't get more common than AR and AK platform rifles. They can't do this. They know they can't do this. We know they can't do this. The Supreme Court knows they can't do this. And we're here to make sure that that becomes a reality in the laws of the land. So if you haven't signed the petition, sign it. Go online, donate to help our legal war chest. Lawsuits aren't cheap. I wish they were. We have an outstanding lawyer. But he has a family, we still have to pay the bills. All of us who work in this space, we have to fuel the fight. So we need your help. We need an army of second amendment warriors to stand behind us every time we go into the courtroom to know that we are representing y'all. So get involved, sign a petition, donate, and we will see these folks in court as soon as they pass assault weapons ban. I'm going to hand it over to Ian now.
I'm going to try this again. Y'all can hear me fine? Beautiful. I want to tell you a story about the type of people that we're dealing with inside the Gold Dome and the level of contempt that they have. These people literally tell you, your rights do not come from God, your rights come from us. Raly Garcia, a communist from Boulder, said that. The sponsor of the assault weapons ban are Elizabeth F. Taylor, hard-carrying member of the Democratic Socialists of America, a Soviet communist organization. That is who we are dealing with. Absolutely. So I want to bring up someone else who's been really, really helpful and 100% on our side when it comes to fighting back against this. She's an influencer. She's great with guns. Loves the Second Amendment. Please welcome Ava Flanell.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Of course, I decided to wear heels today, but I do want to appreciate everyone who came here. I know it's so discouraging to get people to show up, and I'm telling you, if you want to be in politics and faith in humanity, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? but I do appreciate you guys being here. And I mean, the best way to get people involved is spread the word, have those conversations, talk to people that like you get done, take people to the right, and you know, just like spread the word. And I also think it's important that if they can't make it, if they can't testify remotely even or show up, to even submit a letter because it is documented. They may not read that letter, but then it does go to the Senate. And also, I just want to let you guys know that even if it doesn't, you know, if it doesn't happen today, it's really important not to get discouraged because we will come back stronger and we will fight this. Thank you, guys.
We are not going to stop. We're not going to let them silence us. That is exactly what they are trying to do. I'm going to talk about a couple other bills they're trying to ram through this session. What they want to do is they want to track your credit card purchases at local gun shops. They want to do that. They are trying to create a new merchant category code specifically for firearms so that Phil Weiser, our Attorney General, who has made it abundantly clear that he is no friend of gun owners, can track your purchases and make sure that you're telling the line you're not buying one of those scary high-capacity magazines. That's literally what they are trying to do. They're coming after you. They want to track all of your purchases. And the thing that you guys got to do, I'm telling this to everyone who's listening, start buying guns in cash. Start using cash to buy firearms. That is very, very important. And it's only a matter of time for the idiots at the ATF or the communists here under the Gold Dome try to ban that too. According to the ATF, buying firearms with cash is domestic terror behavior. That's what they think of. That's what they think of us. They hate you. They hate our rights. Like Dudley was saying earlier, this is not some sort of difference of ideas. We're not dealing with people who are well-intentioned, but they disagree with us. These people, if they could, they would pass a bill to go around, confiscate every firearm from every person in this audience, and throw us all in prison at the minimum. At the very, very bare minimum. So it is so incredibly important that we stand here and we fight back against this. I want to talk about another bill here real quick before our lovely AK guy shows up and gets us all riled up and ready to go to war with these people.
I think that's the sponsor of the bill.
As I said, a Soviet communist organization running our state into the ground. Damn. We will not allow this to happen, so I really hope they can hear this. Because we will not stand for them taking our guns away. We will not stand for their garbage, and we will make them pay in the election cycle. We will take down every single Democrat in a competitive district who votes to take our rights away. We will make them suffer political pain like you have never felt before. Their careers will end, and they will be thrown to the wayside like disgraced Senator Evie Hudak was after the 2013 magazine ban. California. We're not California. We will not become California, and we will do everything we can to fight back against that. So, actually, I'm going to bring up Ryan Flugar again so he can talk a little bit about what we did to Brandon here. 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to bring up Steve Humphrey, a former state representative. Talk about what we did to the delinquents after they passed the magazine ban in 2013. Everyone give Steve a round of applause. All right, thank you so much for everybody being out. Turns like you lose the signal. I'm right there. Thanks for the help. So, yeah, well, and they ran a whole slew of right up against your mouth. Is that better? A little bit. Okay. So, yeah, we have the assault weapon. Assault weapon and assault on it. But that results in recalls of force, which was fantastic. That was a great result from Russian gun owners. And then we had Hudak, who actually bailed out and resigned before she could be recalled. It's right from the wall of her. They don't back off on this now. Same thing all over. Stop.
Try to get closer.
The gun control that they're pushing this year is, well, we've never seen anything like this, just so much fun that they have. And those of you that have FFLs and what you're facing, and then everybody that owns any kind of a rifle that has any kind of a characteristic that resembles an assault weapon, it's outrageous, it's ridiculous, and it just shows total contempt for the Supreme Court and for gun rights in America. And it means so much that you guys are here, and please, keep it real, be respectful, but absolutely, as Taylor was saying, and Ian, be forceful, make your voice heard. If you know anybody else that you can encourage to come down today, because this thing's going to be going for a long time. So, yeah, they better buckle up and be ready for it. Did you have anything you want to say, Ryan?
Sure, I can hop on.
We'll pull you up. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you, Steve. Thank you for everything that you did for 8 years. You endured eight long years of this nonsense at the Capitol. So I have a lot of appreciation for the lawmakers who put themselves through it. They have families; they don't have to do this, but they're here fighting for your rights every single day. And I tell you, I actually spent 6 months working in this building with Steve. 6 horrible months of my life. I couldn't stand any more than that. But I tell you what. It is so discouraging when people don't show up to testify for these bills. So I'm so glad you're here because, the communists, they show up for every single bill. And if you're a lawmaker running a pro-gun bill or fighting against the anti-gun bill, you have to sit next to these knuckleheads while they chew you apart. So today is going to be a little bit different. We've checked the numbers. We think we outnumber them over 3-1 for today's hearing. So that's wonderful. Thank you. And I tell you what, as I said before, and as Steve said, we're going to do it again in the election cycle. Those historic recall elections of 2013 and 2014 will come back to bite them in the butt if they try this bill, if they pass this bill. We will look at these recalls very closely. I tell you what, if you're a Democrat up there and you think you're in a safe district, I'll let you know. Those districts that we won those recalls in 2013 and 14, they were safe Democrat districts. Yeah. Your constituents support the Second Amendment. So, with that said, I know we're going to get Brandon Herrera up here as soon as he arrives, and it should be any minute. Gosh, what else can I talk about here? Yeah, winter is coming. Do you want to take over?
Alrighty. Well, as we are awaiting our long-awaited arrival of AK Jesus, I want to leave you all with a couple things here. This is not the end. Like Ava was saying, if they do, God forbid, pass this today, we cannot allow ourselves to become discouraged. The beauty of American politics is that things move slow. Things move slow. We have some people in our orbit who run conservative organizations in other countries, and they have parliamentary systems, and they say, why is everything so slow? Nothing gets done. That's the point. That is the point. Things here move slow, and that is good for us because that gives us plenty of time to fight back and organize. Right now, we have about two to 300 people here. If they pass it, when we come back, we need 500. After the next committee, we need 700. We need to put insurmountable pressure on these individuals. What every single one of you needs to do is you all need to find out how many of you know who your state representative and state senator are. If you do not, you need to. If you can, go on your phone and go to the Colorado General Assembly website, and you can put in your zip code, and they will tell you who your legislator is. It's a great opportunity because you all are here today, and you have the opportunity to go up to them and talk to them and force them to get on the record and say, yes, I will vote against the assault weapons ban. And if they refuse to take a position on it, you keep calling them, you keep badgering them, you get your neighbors to keep badgering them until they come out and take a solid position and say, we will vote against the 2024 semi-automatic ban. That is what we need to do. We need to force their hand. The only thing that these politicians listen to is when they have their election and re-election threatened. Yes. A good many. Probably about 11, if not more. And the Senate's even more so. Because the Senate tends to be the more sane body out of everyone, unfortunately, to say that. They're not great, but they're definitely more sane than the House is. Those people that you saw hanging out on the bow, are they still there? Okay, yeah, they ran away. Those people right there are all members, are literally members of the Democratic Socialists of America. 3 of those people on that balcony are sponsors of the assault weapons ban. One of those guys, his name is Javier Mabry, you'll see him later. He has complete and utter contempt for gun owners. So be prepared for him to make a fool out of himself in the middle of committee. So what I'm going to do right now is while we're waiting for Brandon, I'm going to take any questions about testimony or anything like that real quick. Yes. You're going to have about 2 minutes. 2 minutes each. And they are going to be they're going to be sticklers about it. So once you're going to see a little clock in front of you, once it hits 15 seconds, just start wrapping up. And also, be prepared for some of these anti-gun leftists to ask you baiting questions. They want to ask you questions that they know are going to piss you off, so you can say something out of pocket in front of the reporters, and they get a nice little headline. And it takes away from the fact that they're trying to take our guns away, and now it all becomes about some tiff between an idiot legislator and a gun rights activist.
Example.
Excuse me?
What kind of, give us an example.
A great example would be if they ask you something along the lines of, did you know gun violence is the biggest killer of children or something like that? Something along those lines where they try to bait you into saying something that could be problematic. Other questions? Awesome. So, like I said, be prepared. It's going to be 2 minutes each, and speak from the heart. Talk about how this is going to affect you. If you have a gun shop, talk about how this is likely going to put you out of business and how this is going to cost millions of jobs and cost people their livelihoods. And also, we need to make it abundantly clear that we will not stand for it. Be prepared to be here all day. Be prepared. Be prepared to be here until midnight tonight, because that is very likely what is going to happen. There is food in the basement of the Capitol. If you get hungry, you can run down there. They have a little convenience store down there, but be prepared for the long haul. I understand it's going to suck. I understand it's going to be a long day. But the communists do not sleep. They make their sacrifices. They sacrifice time to come down here and be activists. Be willing to have as much endurance as they do and put in the done here that is so incredibly important. Do we have any other questions? I'm hearing that Brandon will be here imminently. Imminently, Taylor? Yes. So, potentially. Yes, so he is asking if there's enough room for us to fit inside the committee room. Probably not. They are
I don't know, maybe his phone is dropping. I think Toby's gonna jump off until that Brandon guy shows up. He's still streaming though. There we go. Maybe he's restarting his phone. I'm gonna pull him off of there though. All right, so Ozzy's talking about iGold. Let's see. So Ozzy's talking about iGold. Let me bring back up my screen here. Oh, let me pull this off. What I was working on here is my business. So we're gonna pull this up over here. Oh my goodness. So we've got guncalendars.com where we post this kind of stuff. And if you go to the firearms events for 2024, the first thing is all these rallies. Right now we're watching the Colorado State Rally in Denver, thanks to Toby over at Cape Gunworks. The next one, or actually I got to put these in better order. The one that just happened over the weekend was in New Hampshire. Then we got Illinois coming up. Okay, hold on. Missouri is April 17th. I got to go put these in the right order. This is driving me nuts. So we're going to edit this real quick. And let's see, is there a way to just easily shift these around? Hopefully. I don't think I'm doing them as blocks. Oh, wait, I am. Awesome. So Missouri can go in front of there, and New Hampshire can go in front of there. That's so much nicer. All right, so going back to it, the New Hampshire one just happened. We're watching Colorado. Next, Missouri is happening on the 17th, and then Illinois happens on the 18th. Earlier, Triggerology was telling us that there'll be an event in June. He's going to tell us the details once it's flushed out. Thanks for that. All right, so that was pretty cool. I ended up getting some better screenshots of that whole thing, so let's bring some of those up here. Where are they? Okay, here we go. So we had this original one we were doing the head count with, and it looks like we're verified. They said there was 200-300 people there. Oops. So let me get over to here. So got this one, pretty good one. This one's even better because this is the guy from 2AO. So that's interesting. Then we had, this one was pretty good, but I didn't get the text right on it, so I don't like it. But that was a great shot. Really gives you an idea of the number of people that are there to some extent. It was kind of cool that we got to see some of the rally too. So let's go back and check that out. Close some of these. Bring the video back up over here. That's the sound of bringing a video up. Bring the video back up over here. All right, we don't have to listen to that over again. But now we can zoom back. We'll open this up full screen. Whoa, look at how long this lag is. So there was some pretty good stuff happening there at that rally, in my opinion. Are we going to see this full screen ever? Or what's going on, YouTube? There we go. No preview. That's lame. Do I have too many things open? I might have way too many things open. Let me start closing some things. Probably don't need email open. Probably don't need... Well, this is all the stuff that we're referencing. I don't need this open. That's a lag. This is nothing. Old YouTube video isn't necessary. We'll get rid of this again. Closing Instagram probably helps. So this is when he was still over there, and then at some point he decided, let's walk over closer. Which was a good call, by the way. And we also got to see the travel, which is always cool. So it's a rerun. A rewind on the rerun.
Great result from this kind of we actually failed out and resigned before she could be recalled.
So that's what 200 to 300 people looks like. If somebody tries to tell you this is 800 people, if somebody tries to tell you this is 100 people, now you know this is 200 to 300 people standing around. Get an idea, get used to that. If you can judge how tall a person is or how much they weigh, you should be able to tell how big a crowd is.
The guy who told me there's much in here is I've never seen anything like this.
Thank you, Brandon.
Just so much fun that they have. And those of you that have FFLs and what you're facing, and then everybody.
Sorry to keep you waiting, folks. Complicated business. No, it's awesome to see everybody out here today. Better? Yes. There we go. I'm new to this whole talking to people stuff. No, it's a genuine pleasure to be out here and to see so many like-minded, patriotic Americans willing to not only just talk shit on the internet, but actually show up in person and put their money where their mouth is. It's awesome. So a round of applause for you guys. You guys are the real patriots. But the question is, why are we here? Well, that's why I'm here. The reason we're here is because your elected officials are willing to sit in that building and sell your rights down the river. Amen. You're here to remind them that that's not going to fucking happen. Yeah. Something that has been a recurring theme with, of course, my campaign running against the Rhino, Tony Gonzalez, who voted with Biden and Nancy Pelosi on gun control. So he's a typical establishment Republican. Something that has been a recurring theme in that race has been the idea of holding your elected officials accountable. Letting them know that just because they've got a seat right now and they won an election doesn't mean that they get to hold on to that seat until they decide to retire. Amen. They are held accountable by you guys.
hold them accountable. Because this goes just beyond the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, of course, being one of the most important natural rights that God gave us and the Constitution protects. It goes beyond that, though. This is a bunch of people who feel like they can parade around, vote however they want, and you guys are just going to keep voting for them because they have an R in front of their name. That's not correct. And we're here to remind them of that. Because just like I keep saying, if you vote against our interests, if you vote against gun rights, if you vote against the Constitution, if you vote against the will of your constituents, we will challenge you, we will primary you, and we will win. We will take your fucking job. Yeah! It's kind of crazy to be here, standing here, because I've been fighting for gun rights for God knows over a decade now. I've been fighting the ATF, been testifying before Congress in congressional field hearings, talking about how much the ATF sucks, which is a personal hobby of mine. Thank you. But it's crazy to see how much the gun culture has grown and how much the Second Amendment movement has grown in general. Because 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. 10 years ago, it didn't have to be like this. Our rights have always been under assault, but now I look out into the crowd. First of all, I see a wave of multicam hats, which is awesome. But I see a crowd who's pissed off. I see a crowd who's done talking about it. And I see a crowd who's ready to fucking be about it. Yeah. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys. It's a pleasure to come by, shake some hands, and at the end of the day, scare some bad politicians. Yeah. So thank you, guys.
Okay, before this is the worst kept secret. Before you finish here, I already told everybody, so you're the only one who doesn't know. Brandon won his runoff in a big field just a few weeks ago. And the way Texas election works in the primary, you run the primary if you make it. If you keep the incumbent top person below 50%, now it's the top two vote getters. He was the second vote getter. Yeah. And our federal PAC already gave you a check. Well, guess what? We're giving you a maximum check of $5,000 to your campaign. We want to win. Guess what? We want Brandon in Congress. We want him to walk up and tell Joe Biden and even the Rhino Republicans, fuck off. I'm pretty sure he'll do that.
That's one of the reasons that last comment is why I like working with you guys so much. It was funny. Well, now I'll give a little extra allegory. Somebody asked me what my priorities were on day one of going to Congress to represent my people in Texas District 23. And I have a lot of things I want to get done. There's a lot of things within the VA that need to be fixed. There's a lot of things on the border that need to be fixed. But my personal one is I told the interviewer, I'm going to go by the ATF headquarters and throw an egg in their face. And he's like, oh, figuratively. I'm like, yeah. But these are the people that we need. We need actual fighters. We need people, like I said, who aren't just going to talk about it. People are going to be about it. And being about it starts by showing the fuck up. So thank you for everyone who showed the fuck up today. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
All right, guys. We just got word the committee room just opened. So I'm going to tell you this. Let's grab a quick photo on the steps here. And then to enter the Capitol, there are steps on the north side and on the south side. With this amount of people, it would probably behoove us to go and vote. So let's give them hell today, and let's fight back to save our Second Amendment rights in Colorado. Thank you for being here. Being here.
Oh. asking why. Why what? What's the why question all about? I'm trying to post a thank you to our Patreons, actually. To a rally. And that. This will be our, what was that? The to a rally. This will be our 16th rally post. Thanks to our patrons. I was just letting them know to thank them for letting me drop everything this morning and stream that. Thanks to Cape Gunworks, of course, who are the ones at the rally. I really thought about trying to get up to it, but I don't have anywhere near that kind of funds. So I had to work on something yesterday anyway. And instead of putting that off, I opted to not drive all the way up to Denver. But Cape Gunworks went from Massachusetts all the way to Denver, and then let me know this morning that they were willing to stream. So I was like, heck yeah. So we went live here for, I guess, an hour or something during the rally pre-testimonial. So somewhere up here, I put the link to the House Bill 24, 1292. I don't know. I guess House Bill year 224, I guess. But number 1292, which they call the prohibit certain weapons used in mass, their words there. So killings, but prohibit certain weapons, of course, but it's only guns, right? Anyhow, their weird attempt to derail and deflect and distract people from other issues by putting a knife to the neck of individual freedom and liberty. So some of those things were pretty good. Some of those speeches, I guess, letting people know how to be effective with their testimonials, what to watch out for, baiting questions and stuff. So it's pretty good. We're not getting much feedback other than a couple of people saying thanks. And we were chatting a little bit about the other rallies that are coming up, and we updated the calendar while we were waiting for the back and forth with the live stuff there. Avenge or Average is saying, do you think it's going to pass? I have no idea because I'm not in Colorado, but it sounded like from people talking about it that are in Colorado that they have a fairly democratic weighted, or whatever you call it, like dominant, both House and Senate. And then their governor is a libertarian, but tends to be anti-rights. So they're pessimistic about it. I don't think that's the case. That has to be the case, at least. I mean, I have no idea, like I say. But the right messages to the right people can be useful, can be worthwhile. So I don't think anything's written in stone. They would certainly like it to pass. They'd certainly like everybody to sit down and listen and do what they're told. But I like to post these things. We're in Arizona posting this with a live stream from somebody in Massachusetts about something that's happening in Colorado. People go to Colorado for vacations and for travel. People buy things in Colorado. People pass through Colorado, and you have options, right? So letting representatives know about that is a useful effort. The Colorado General Assembly has a website. It's leg.colorado.gov. So I'm not sure why they decided to put legislator in front of it, but leg.colorado.gov, and you can find the list of representatives there, senators and representatives. But this is about to be in about an hour. They're going to have testimonials, and I'm not sure if we'll get anyone to stream that or if there'll be a feed. We could look for a feed, perhaps. Maybe one of the giant channels will go live and get a bunch of super chats by watching the feed. We'll find out. Hopefully somebody will do that, make a bunch of money watching that feed, and a bunch of people will become aware of, how to be a part of our system. Really, it's not really the government. The government is a piece of the system, but the system is representative democracy, or whatever it's called, and that means you have a voice, you have an interaction, and you have a lever to pull. You actually have quite a few. People like to watch. People have been told to be spectators. People are conditioned to be audiences, and that plays right into people who would like to do whatever they want. So understanding the mechanism and pulling the right levers and pushing the right buttons is the way that you manipulate a giant piece of mechanism. Luckily, we've got a lot of people who are frustrated from maybe a good chunk of their careers working with the government and different types of bureaucracy. And those folks both know how to operate it and are frustrated and know when and where to push the buttons. So support is probably, like always, a good way to influence things in the way you'd like to see it happen. So I'll quit lecturing. You know how the system works, but I thought this was a pretty good rally as far as rallies go. Triggerology is saying, seems like the ruling about an illegal immigrant carrying a gun in self-defense is going to open up a new battlefront we can use to restore rights. Right on. I had just barely seen something on a headline of a video. I haven't heard anything about the details of that. All right, so hopefully that answered everybody's, or no, wait. Yeah, that was the only question that came up, was it's going to pass. And I got a thumb up over there, so hopefully that answered that one. Why Andrew was saying why, I still don't know. But we'll end this one. I'm going to get back to it. Again, thanks to our Patreons. I really, 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 really appreciate the ability to take an hour and a half in the middle of a day. I'm probably, oh snap, I still have a half an hour before my show's supposed to start. So I'm able to take this time out of what I should have been doing to make a buck. But because of their support, their membership, their subscriptions, I was like, yeah, no problem. I can spend an hour and a half streaming. Let's do it. In fact, I'll stream again if somebody can find the feed for the testimonials. Colorado is an important state. We've seen Colorado go back and forth. The last time something really, well, I shouldn't say that. One of the first times something really bad happened in Colorado, it was a reaction to crime. And we all know the crime that started the whole media fixation with teaching people where to do horrible things so that they become infamous. We all know that media is doing this, and they started it then. And one of the reactions by the representatives in Colorado was to ban magazines and stuff. Magpul left the state, and the result of that was a lot of the people were removed from office. And that consequence was that a whole bunch of organizations in Colorado took credit for that. And one organization in Colorado, let's bring this up over here, makes north of $12 million a year, more than the GOA, more than the Second Amendment Foundation, more than FPC by 10 times. And that organization acquired that sector of the market, that landslide of money, and you can see how much of it stays in-house. But they acquired that from that stuff that happened in Colorado. So we'll see if something north of $12 million a year is going to be effective in Colorado. There's a lot of complaints that the other state or their national organizations aren't there. I don't know. Did I miss anything? Is there anything going live out there today that I'm corking that was also filming this? Hopefully there was at least some other channels with their cameras on. But whatever. Thanks again to our Patreons to let us be part of that and recording some history there. Again, this was an interesting rally and great example of what can be done. Now let's see how effective it'll be going into the rest of today and going forward in Colorado. And if that can spur some inspiration or motivate some rallies in other states. As we took a look in the calendar, we only have 2 more rallies that I'm aware of this year, one in Missouri and one in Illinois. In 2020, we had something like 20 rallies that year planned, and then something happened that canceled all of them, and we haven't seen very many rallies since. We haven't seen 20 rallies since 2020, and we were going to have 20 in that 1 year. That means 20 different states were going to have rallies. Looking at Oklahoma, looking at the Carolinas, looking at Nevada, but we could look at something like 40 states there. All right, well, we'll end this one. Thanks again to everybody for joining us, and have a good day. Well, I'm going to throw a commercial up here. Even though we have Patreons, we also have a store. You can buy stuff at that store. Be a capitalist, you get something in return. Everybody wins. And we got a bunch of patches from SHOT Show. So there's all kinds of free patches over there.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books.
Ooh, what am I playing that commercial for? Foss made us this commercial. Thank you.
Sir, why are you in Barry's fishing net? He ran right into it. Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty apes. First off, that is incredibly rude. You ran straight into Barry's fishing net. It's ruined. How is Barry gonna fish now? I'm just trying to find some patches and some stickers. Well, all you have to do is go to gearwebsites.com and you can find 2A related stickers and patches. And even if you need web consulting, technology consulting, 3D printing, anything like that, gearwebsites.com. Now, please get out of the net. I'm sorry, jerk.
Again, thanks, Foss, for making that one. That was awesome. We'll throw this one in here for Patriot, and we'll end it.
Shit. Ninja? Ninja! Ninja!
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Hello? All right, well. Somebody got the link somehow, but they're muted. I sent the link out to a few people. Getting anything?